postpone that video. I'm gonna do a mukbang. Got 2 biggie bags, 2 drinks because last time my mouth looked so dry, it looked like I was foaming at the mouth. A pizza, a bunch of chips, and my favorite candy. If you ever want to know what to get me those. They hard to find, but they're my favorite. So, I'm also going to be inexplicably blowing up 5,000 water balloons that I bought off Amazon. I don't have a reason. Oh, and they got darts. Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to blow up 5,000 balloons and then pop 5,000 balloons and then be mad that I got to clean it up. The balloons are smaller than I thought, but it's okay. That's gonna make it harder to clean up though. So, as far as the story time element goes, I don't have one specific story to tell. So I'm just gonna tell an amalgamation of stories. Just a disclaimer, all of these stories are fake. None of these stories are about anybody. None of these people in these stories are real. They're all fictional. Everything's fictional. Everything's a lie. I'm a liar. Okay? So, if at any point during me telling... Loud ass bag. If at any point during me telling these stories you feel attacked or personally talked about or whatever, I don't know what to tell you. You'll be alright. Niggas die every day, B. Anyway, let's see what these darts... I should not have darts. I am not of sound mind to be fucking playing with darts. But you know what? Carpe diem. So, I really don't know why this came with darts. But I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself. I'm like a toddler low key. I didn't have intentions on popping the fucking balloons with darts. I never got past the point of blowing them up. Like, that was the only idea that I had, to just fill my bedroom with 5,000 balloons. So, I guess I'm popping them too. I'll also doing a mukbang. As far as the story, like I said, it's not about nobody. If you relate to a character that I'm saying, it's fictional. I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be an amalgamation of stories. First, I want to talk about why the other day I changed my IG picture to Thanos. This shit is mad watery. No, it's actually sweet as fuck. So, I changed my profile picture to Thanos because recently I've been going through some things at school. I'm not gonna say what school I go to, but I've been going through some things. These fries are limp. I mean, okay. That's what happens when you get delivered. I've been going through some things at school where some people thought was my friends, my road dogs, whatever you want to call them. First of all, I need new friends. I either need new friends or I don't need no friends at all. Because what keep happening is, I keep thinking motherfuckers is my friends and they down to clown. Turns out they're not down to clown. Turns out they're not my friends. Sorry, notification. And steadily, every single person who I've been thinking is my friend, who got my back, whatever, been just dropping like flies, like dominoes, if you will. And even people who I'ma hold your hand through the whole thing, and I got your back, and you've done so much for me, I would never turn on you. Turned on me, they just did it in secret. Let me tell you something about me. The difference between me and you is, you going to sneak this, and y'all go anonymously write stuff and talk about me when I'm not around, and I'm not doing that. If it's fuck me, it's fuck you out loud. You're gonna know that I don't like you. You're gonna know that we got beef. You're gonna know. I'm laughing in your face. I'm talking in your face. I need you to know. These little ass balloons, it's gonna take me forever to fill up my room. But I think they was meant to be water balloons, that's why. But, excuse me, like I said, it ain't gonna be no secret that I don't fuck with you. My disrespect is gonna be out loud and proud. it don't seem like everybody is on that same like wavelength of mutual respect, or I guess in this case mutual disrespect. People want to, collude and hide behind the scenes and shit. I don't like that. So what happened was, all these people are basically taking on someone else's beef. I had beef with this one girl, and I don't even know why I got beef with her, okay? But we got beef for life because she dragged it too far. And at the end of the day, I won, but at what cost? I had to lose all the people who... And it's like, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because all the people who... Like, God showed me... He showed me who wasn't really for me. He showed me who wasn't really fucking with me like that. And how easy they would be willing to turn on me. So that's good. But it's bad because it really hurt me. I thought y'all was fucking with me. It's okay. It wasn't. So I should have got a bigger fry, but these fries was not like hot and crispy, so it's okay. I don't want no more fries. But back to my story. So I had beef with one person. Let's call her Mary J. Blige. And I don't know why me and Mary J. Blige got beef. Swear to God. Like, I don't know what possessed her to just up it on me like that. But she did. So I have really bad teeth. I feel like I inherited bad teeth. My birth dad, got about 6 teeth in his mouth, maybe 7. My birth mom has a bunch of teeth, but none of them belong to her. They all fake from the dentist. So, or they're parts of her teeth and parts of other teeth where you gotta like get fillings and crowns and that kind of shit. So, not to mention, when I was a kid, like, if you knew how my home life was when I was a kid, my parents weren't very responsible in the sense that they didn't tell us to get in the shower. They didn't tell us to iron our clothes or brush our teeth or brush our hair or stuff like that. Or they didn't do it for us. So I didn't brush my teeth as a kid. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that. I grew up in a hard, you feel me? My mom was young when she had us. It is what it is. I will say, my niece lives with my mom, and she makes sure my niece brushes her teeth, brushes her hair, washes her body. So, obviously, things change, but no one ever told me to brush my teeth, and I didn't go to the dentist that often, so my teeth are kind of screwed. I got, like, right here, both of these teeth are broken. I'm not really going to go into my dental history with you, but I said that to say, I have really bad teeth situation going on, and so sometimes it becomes unbearable to where I have to just get so high and go to sleep, because that's the only way to kill the pain for a second. And my wisdom teeth are coming in on both sides, and it's squeezing all the teeth in the middle together to make room for itself. My dentist told me, if you don't get those out of soon, you're going to end up needing braces, because it is forcing your teeth together to make room for themselves. That is incredibly painful. To have your jaw shape be changed in real time, incredibly painful. So, oh God, I hate the taste of latex. So, that's what was happening. And on top of that, I ate some food from this halal truck out front of my school, and it made my stomach hurt. It made me have to dookie. And I threw up. And so I told that to Mary J. Blige. It basically was like, I don't remember the exact wordage of how the conversation went, so I don't want to lie on her and be like, this is exactly what she told me. So, essentially, she knew I was about to go sleep. I told her, text me when y'all ready, whatever the case may be. I don't feel good. My stomach hurt. I still have the messages and everything. She said, all right. I said, text me when you're ready to start working. She never texted me. She comes upstairs an hour later and was like, hey, if you're not feeling good, just go home. I'm like, that's very thoughtful of you. I'll do that. She runs it, mind you, she just became a manager. So this, in my interpretation, is her ODing and using this as a reason to, like, she been ODing on this manager shit. I'm not the only person who said this. Somebody who she so close with right now, so besties right now, is the very first person to come to me and be like, yo, she doing too much. She ODing with this manager shit. I'm not the first person to think that. I'm not going to be the last person to think that. She been kissing our direct boss, he's not my direct boss no more, but everybody all summer hated this nigga, used to talk shit about this nigga, like used to go crazy on this nigga. All of a sudden, they besties and she kissing his ass. So, and she not the only person who got promoted. Another person who I also was friends with, also I was a little bit closer with this friend, Little Mermaid, she got promoted too. She wasn't doing none of that ass kissing. She wasn't going out of her way. Mind you, you also, okay, so the room that I was in is called the radio room. It has couches in there. That's why I was in there. I was taking a little nap until it was time to start working. Mary J. Blige also be in that room. And I got concrete proof because a third-party friend of ours, Princeton University, he was in the room with us one time, and she was like, oh, as a matter of fact, Biagé, you the only person who saw my nigga. She didn't say nigga. I'm saying nigga. She's like, you the only person who saw my nigga. I'm like, oh. She like, yeah, remember when me and him was in the radio room and you was in there? That's my boyfriend. But she was also giving me the spiel about how that's her nigga, but he wasn't acting right, so she's fucking with 2 other niggas at the same time. All these bitches be whores. They be whoring themselves out and then telling me about their whore antics. And so that's what was happening. She was telling me, oh, you saw my boyfriend look like he black, da-da-da-da. I was in the radio room with him. Admitted that in front of another person. I ain't never got a lie about no shit like that. So, get some more balloons out. So, I'm like, oh yeah, I did see him. But she just admitted to being in there. Mind you, they the ones who taught me to do that shit. I'm newer than them. And it's not like, I understand taking responsibility for my actions. I'm not saying nobody held a gun to my head and forced me to go in there and take a nap. I did that because I wanted to. So I'm not blaming her for that. But what I'm blaming her for, while you were the manager, while you were supposed to be on shift, was just in there with a nigga at that. Had him filling up on you and all that. I seen across the counter. You ain't cared that I was in there. And you still did that. And nobody went and told on you or filed a report or did no goofy shit like that. I'm the only person who saw. And I didn't. When I had the chance to go snitch on you and go file a report and go make it seem like, oh, I'm doing my job regardless of a friendship. I had that opportunity to go do that. But I did not. So then a couple weeks later, when I'm in there because I'm actually not feeling good. Everybody who knows me knows I have really bad teeth. I'm all the time complaining about how bad my teeth hurt. I'll have some chips. I'm like, here, you want this? Excuse me, I can't finish it. My teeth hurt. Got some candy. I'm like, I don't know why I bought this. You want this? My teeth hurt. I'm just groaning all the time because my teeth hurt. I was like habitually high for like a month last semester because my teeth hurt and that was the only thing that was stopping the pain. I went to the dentist like 3 times a week for like 2 weeks straight. So I'm not making that shit up. I can show you where the hole in my tooth is, and I can show you how this part of my jaw's just been swollen consistently because of the tooth that's coming in. I'm not lying. I'm not making that shit up. So basically, I actually had an ailment. I had something wrong with me while I was over there, and I didn't say like, oh, I'm just not gonna help you. I just said text me when you're ready. You went out of your way to try and show that you doing your job and that you're a manager of the fucking month, like they giving out employee of the month certificates or something. You OD and sucking people dick like always, and so you go and you like, oh, I found Biagé. First of all, Biagé was missing. I wasn't missing. I told you exactly where I was going. I have the messages to prove it. And then I had to find her. You didn't find me. You came straight to where I was. Usually when you gotta find somebody, you don't immediately go to their location. Hence the word find. You supposed to look for somebody. If you was able to come to my location immediately, that means you didn't have to find me. That means you knew where I was. There was no finding involved. And she like, oh, when I got up there, she was asleep. That's the only true part of the story, is that I was asleep. And because, again, if you ever had a wisdom tooth come in, it's not fun. But having a wisdom tooth come in 2 at a time and shift your jaw, it's really not fun. When you gotta get your jaw rewired shut and shit, they put you on medicine. They put you under to rewire your jaw. And then they give you painkillers. I don't got no painkillers. My jaw is rewiring itself in real time. No painkillers. I'm doing that shit off the strength. So I'm in a lot of pain. I moved on to the chicken nuggets. Of course I'm in a lot of pain. This is a very painful situation to be going through. So you're supposed to be my friend. And it's not like our bosses was looking for me. It was the end of the day. None of our managers or bosses were in the building. They were not checking the cameras. None of them knew I was gone. She specifically went out of her way to tell them that I was going, to tell them that she had to find me, and to tell them that I was asleep. If she had not said that, they would have never been the wiser. So you went out of your way to alert somebody to the fact that I was asleep, then make it seem like you did your job by coming to find me and all that. You did not. Then she said she wasn't in communication with me the whole time. Had to debunk that because I have text messages where we were texting the whole time. Like, why are you going to lie when there's proof? That's insane. So she tells the bigger boss. The bigger boss don't like me. Drew don't give a fuck. That nigga don't like me, and that's okay because I don't like him either. Fuck him. He called me a failure one time. I'm never gonna like you ever again in life. Bitch, we working at the same job. You grown as fuck, an old man with kids and a wife, working at the same job as me, and I'm 20 and in college, and I'm the failure, and you doing the same job I'm doing, and you're a grown man. That makes sense. And so, she told him, he been told me he trying to get me fired, trying to get me up out of here. So his immediate reaction was to write me a report, because you can't just fire nobody at this job. You have to have a paper trail. They have to do things wrong multiple times. You have to have, like, because if I dispute it, you have to have a reason to say, like, okay, so this is why we fired you. So I gotta get another cut already. So he writes me a little write-up and says, you have to sign this, give it back to me. I text him and said, I'm not signing shit and giving back to you until me, you, and her have a conversation together. Because every time I talk to her, she keeps changing the details. And when I spoke to her, she told me that what you wrote in this report is not what she told you. She said she did not tell you that I was gone for no hour and she couldn't find me and all these things. She said that all she told you was that I was sleeping. So either you adding shit or she adding shit, and then when I come to her after the fact, she lying about it. So if the three of us talk together, nobody can't lie and add stuff or take stuff away. The story gonna be the story if all three of us sit in each other's face. He was working at the moment, so he didn't respond. I live across the street from the building, so I just happened to be in the building. So I go to the office. Now, mind you, it is not like out of the ordinary for someone to be in the office when they don't have work. That is not something that, I don't even know how many I blew up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should keep track of that. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is not out of the ordinary for someone to be in the office when they are not working. I am known to do that. Several people are known to do that. I don't have to name anybody because it has gotten so, like, to the point where they had to put it in the rule book that if you're not in the office, you shouldn't be, because he said something about, like, the insurance. Like, if you're working, you get hurt, you're covered by the insurance. If you're not working and you get hurt, that's a whole different ballgame, which is understandable. And so they had to put it in the rule book. They wouldn't have put that shit in the rule book if just I was doing it. They made it a point to say it at a meeting with everybody there and put it in the rule book because everybody was doing it. Don't try to play me out. And I'm specifying me being in the office as a point of contingency because that's going to come up later. And so, 8. I should really write this down somewhere. I'm going to forget. I got some sticky notes. I don't know what I do with them bitches. I just seen them too. That's alright. 8. So I'm in the office. He came to before he came to the office, I'm in the office with 2 people. I'm going to call one of them I already named. Her name is Little Mermaid, and the other one, we gonna call her I don't know, cause I'm not gonna make up a name for her. I'm gonna just say she who shall not be named came into the office with Little Mermaid, and I was chatting with them and I was showing them the write-up, and I was like, hey, Little Mermaid also happens to be a manager. She became a manager at the same time as Mary J. Blige. So I'm like, if this was you and you caught me sleeping in the whole situation, would you have written me up, or would you have just woken me up and told me to come help? She agrees, like, nah, Mary J. Blige was doing too much. I personally wouldn't have done that, but that's just her. I'm like, I just wanted your opinion. That's all. So I know how I get, I know how I am, and I know how I talk. I'm ranting and raving. Might have been talking vulgar. Pretty sure I was cursing. Who gives a fuck? I'm grown. And I'm not on the clock. curse if I want to. Who the fuck gonna stop me? Nobody. So I'm cursing and carrying on, and I basically said, since she want to be super manager and act like this manager position where you make $17 fucking an hour, okay? You make $17 an hour. Let me say that one more time. You make 17.00. Actually, it's like 17.40. You make $17 and some change an hour. That's worth this? You beefed out for life over $17 fucking and that was worth it? You gonna graduate in May and never be able to work this job again, and you got an enemy for life over it? That's insane. But this job ain't even worth that. But it's when people don't have anything, when they don't got no money, they don't have nothing to fall back on, this is your only source of income. This is your only, this is your lifeline. I get it. It's different. This job ain't stopping no motion. I ain't worked this job for like 2 months, and I still got this job not my only motion. But for her, this job was her only motion. So I could see how she trying to dicky her way to the top. That's not really unfathomable to me. I'm not even mad at her about the situation. I'm mad at the other key players who I'm going to get to it eventually. And so, dunk my chicken nugget. What ends up happening is, she who shall not be named, and Ariel, they in there, and they listening to me say that, this shit or whatever, and they both get called on a walkie-talkie to a different room. So they go to the other room because they on the clock. I'm not. And then my boss runs in the room. And he like, I can't believe you would be in here threatening Mary J. Blige. You gotta get out. I threatened her. I did say that I was going to make her life as my manager living hell. I did say I was going to inconvenience her at every point that I can as my manager. This ain't her life. This is her job. I did not threaten her. I said I was going to retaliate for her getting me in trouble. You could write that down and be like, oh, retaliation? I ain't going to be mad at that. That's the truth. But to say I threatened her, absurd. And so, I left the office and I kind of just lingered in that area because there was an event happening, some karaoke shit, and I wanted to get some free food. And so, a few days later, I had another incident happen with a girl. We gonna call her Shishi. Me and Shishi been friends for a little second. I gotta give backstory about this one, cause you ain't never gonna believe it until I tell you. So, I met Shishi at a meeting. She was laughing at my jokes. I like when people laugh at my jokes. I'm funny, and if you think I'm funny, we gonna get along. I had a party. I invited her to the party. Shishi stayed sober. My first instance of Shishi being a pick-me. Shishi goes, oh, I don't smoke. And mind you, I'm not going to peer pressure you to smoke. You don't want to do my drugs? Fine, I'll do them. I'm never going to make nobody do no drugs they don't want to do. More for me. I'm saying drugs, but I only mean weed. She said she don't smoke because she had her friends die. And I ain't never heard nobody die from the weed. But her friend died and overdosed, and she just had this long, sad, drawn-out story about how she don't smoke. A no would have sufficed. I didn't ask for your life story. So, she also says she don't drink. That's fine because you're not the age to drink. There are other people who are there drinking, like Astro World. Astro World is belligerently drunk, but this is not Astro World's first time being belligerently drunk. Every time I have an event, or every time anyone has an event, I'm not even the only person. I've had other people come up to me and say, oh, when we play Dungeons and Dragons, this nigga's always assed out drunk. Or when we do this, he's just assed out drunk all the time. It'll be like a random Tuesday and I'll text him and he's drinking. So, it doesn't matter about if you're the age or not. When you're in college, you just drink sometimes. But I was happy to not be providing her with the alcohol. Again, more for the rest of us. I don't really drink like that, but it was a party. Everybody else was drinking, so it was fine. She blurts out, if I had a dick, it would be hard. Now, coming from someone who will be sober, that sounds a little weird. If you was drunk, we're gonna go to the second round of nuggets. If you was drunk, I wouldn't really give that too much of a second thought. If you was high, I wouldn't really give that too much of a second thought. But given the fact that you're completely and utterly sober, that's a concerning thing. Not concerning, but it's weird. It's like, got a little side-eye. But if you was sober, because you're sober, that's why I'm giving you a side-eye for saying that. Because you're basically just blurting out your horny. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I drink, that's why I don't drink. I drink, and I immediately text my ex and start saying the most diabolical things. Okay? When I'm drunk, I feel like, no, when I'm high, I feel like that too. But it's way more controllable. When I'm drunk, I just say things sometimes. Like, I just say things. So, not that it's okay one way or the like, or it's bad one way or the other, whether you said it, whether you're drunk, whether you said it, whether you're high. We're all adults, but there's a French fry in here. I don't want it. It's hard and crusty now, but it just threw me off. And so she continued to make comments like that. And so as we were leaving, well, I was walking everybody out the door. She also happens to live in the same building as me, so she wasn't leaving. She begins to, we were texting while we were like, why everybody was there and why, like, she didn't want to say certain things out loud. And so she was saying she was about to go back to her. She said she texted her ex or something like that to see if he could come over. I guess that didn't work out. And she was about to go back to her dorm. And the gist of what she said, she essentially told me she was about to play with her pussy because her rolls died and was going to, or vibrator, one or the other, and it was going to take too long to charge. Still have that message, by the way, just in case people want to lie. So, mind you, this is my first time really interacting with her outside of work. And you just felt comfortable enough around me to tell me you was about to play with your pussy? I wasn't even like, it's not like she telling me that because I'm trying to holler at her and I'm trying to get at her and it's her way of curving me. No. Because literally, my ex was here in my dorm room. I was not worrying about her. I knew before I even had the party, my ex was at having Friendsgiving with her people, right? I paid for her to go there. And I was like, all right, I'm going to call you Uber here when you're done because I'm going to want you to be here. Like, I need you to be here in the bed already, just ready, just there, just don't even put no clothes on. You can go to sleep, but I'm gonna wake you up when I get back. So it wasn't even on that type of time. So you just felt comfortable enough with me to tell me you was about to play with your pussy. So word got around of her saying if she had a dick it would be horny and stuff like that, and someone else in the group ends up saying something along the lines of, if they would have knew that that's how she was feeling or that they wanted to eat her pussy or something like that, they said like they ain't want none in return, they would just eat it. Cool. I don't got nothing to do with me. But because it was my party, they kept asking me, who said it? But this person specifically asked me not to say nothing. They said, just don't tell her. I'm trying to be a good friend, so I ain't telling her. So, I'll put another one. We got 11 balloons so far. So, I'm trying to be a good person. I ain't telling her. She starts being pick me more, talking about, oh, I feel uncomfortable. I can't believe someone would objectify me. You just got done telling us that if you had a dick, it would be hard, that you was sad that your rose was dead, and that you was finna go play with your pussy and go to sleep. And you think that no one else who's in this room, who actually is under the influence, who's high or drunk or whatever, or maybe both, because this person was both, you think that nobody gonna catch on to that and be feeling a little saucy themselves and be like, you know what, I eat it up. Of course somebody's gonna say something like that. So for you to be like, I feel so objectified, I can't believe that someone would think of me in a sexual manner or say some sexual shit like that about me. Girl, boo. But she kept dragging that shit, talking about, oh, I'm so, like, really trying to say, like, she felt uncomfortable, or she felt uncomfortable because she didn't know who it was, and she really felt, I'm scared to come back into the game room. What if someone attacks me? What if they're a predator? Go ahead somewhere with that shit. You hanging out with that nigga as we speak. So don't go with that shit. And you know who it was now because I told you. But, so, Fast forward to a bunch of more pick me shit happened in between. Like, so my friend James, he was supposed to be the co-host of Minecraft. He's still going to be the co-host of Minecraft when we get that settled. She kept getting on the counter at work, and she's tiny. She's shorter than me, and I'm like 5'4". She couldn't get off the counter without almost breaking her neck. The first time she got off the counter, she hurt herself. So she was on the counter and was like, "Woe is me, I'm so dainty and fragile and small and tiny. I could break if I get off this counter. Won't someone come and help me?" And maybe she was saying that and she didn't want him. Maybe she wanted someone else to come and help her. But James went to help her because this is literally the nicest man I know. He don't talk bad about nobody. He don't do none. He don't do no. First of all, just being friends with men in general is way better than being friends with girls. I've learned that. But he don't talk bad about nobody. He don't slime nobody. It's too many green flags for me to explain. But that's how I know James wasn't on this time and he wasn't trying to make her feel uncomfortable. He goes and wrapped his arm like around her like waist-ish area to try to help her get off the counter. He helps her get off the counter. So the next day, she was like, "Oh, Biaggi, I gotta talk to you about something." I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" She like, "Oh, like, I kind of feel uncomfortable about James helping me off the counter because I feel like he kind of just left his hand, like, on the small of my back or on my waist or whatever for a little bit too long." I'm like, he was not trying to holler at you. He was not trying to fuck with you. He was not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. None of the above. He don't even have that kind of bone in his body. Don't do him like that. Like, that's not what that was. You specifically got on the counter knowing that you failed the first time and we all saw you. You specifically got on the counter and then when it was time to get off the counter, made a whole debacle about getting off the counter, about how you're so dainty and small and you're so fragile and that you'll fucking die if you get off the counter by yourself. And so James, being the person that he is, came to try and help you because he views you as his friend. Don't ever try and play on his character, play on his name like he was trying to touch on you inappropriately. You think It's so weird because you think everybody wants you, but you also think nobody wants you. Let me get into the nobody wants you part. We in the game room. It's some people. First of all, she got on this shirt, titties just out. They like separated, but they like just out. So she keeps drawing attention to that. Keep making people look at it. Keep saying like how she cold and she should have worn a different shirt. But keep saying things that would draw your attention to the fact that her shirt is open like that. And so that's not the only time that I'm gonna get back to that story. That's not the only time that she did something like that. She came into the game room one time and she walks by and wow, you smell good. Someone else, she made everybody in the room smell her after that, and everybody said she smelled good. Then she just continuously for the rest of the day talked about the perfume and talked about, "I don't know why y'all saying I smell good. This is like a regular smell." And she had like this little piece of cloth that she was gonna make a pillow out of, she said. And so the cloth also smelled like her perfume or whatever. And she kept smelling it. She like, "I really don't get what the big deal is. It smells regular to me," but kept drawing attention back to it, being the pick me, being the, "Oh, y'all look at me, everybody, I'm over here," basically jumping up and down, begging for motherfuckers' attention in the room, continuously talking about the perfume and all that. Then for like 2 weeks after that, she wore that fucking perfume every single day and would mention it or talk about it so that you know she wore that perfume. Would make you smell her so you know she wore that perfume. Making it known that she was wearing that perfume specifically for the fact that we told her it smelled good. Also, this kid that be in the game room, he don't go here, but his name is Justice League, right? That's what I'm gonna call him. And so Justice League, like Batman and all them type shit. She kept talking about herself, like saying like she was ugly or whatever, and he was like, "I don't know how many times we gotta tell you fine shit." Peep the keywords. I don't know how many times we have to tell you. Meaning that we've had to tell you that multiple times because you're always in here talking down on yourself, saying how bad you feel, saying how you don't like yourself, or how you think you're fat, or how you think you're ugly, or whatever, how you think nobody likes you, to the point where we have to continuously reassure you that you are fine shit. I'm not a hater. She is pretty. I'm not no hater, and I've told her that before. Like when one of the times where she says she was ugly or that the boy wouldn't like her, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you're not his type. You're everybody's type. I'm not no hater. I'm not no hating ass bitch. If I was a hater, I'd be like, yeah, that hoe ugly and she smell like curry chicken. But I'm not a hater, and she not ugly and she don't smell like curry chicken. I'm the first person that told her she smelled good, cause she walked by behind me and I just got this big whiff of something that smelled good. I've been telling her that she fine shit. Everybody been telling her that. So it's not like I'm a hater and I'm trying to downplay. Like, no, I'm not even being a hater. I'm being the opposite of a hater, because I told you just like everybody else told you. Get the fuck out of here. And so just him saying how many times we gotta tell you lets you know that we've had to tell her a bunch of times, because she always goes out of her way. Like, she's fishing for compliments. That's exactly what she's doing, fishing for compliments. And so there was some boys in there. One boy that's my friend, his name is Max. Some other Indian boys. She said she had a crush on the one with the red shirt. Max had on a red shirt. I assume she was talking about him. She was talking about one of the Indian boys with the red shirt on. I happen to know all of them. I feel like, I don't know if this was either the biggest coincidence in the world. She would always tell me she had a crush on somebody that I knew. I'm not sure if she knew that I knew them, or if it just happens that I know everybody. I'm very friendly. I'm a personable person. Maybe I'm just know everybody. And so I'm like, oh, so let me get to how we ended up talking about him anyway. So a bunch of our friends, we was talking about how she's a pick-me and how she got low self-esteem or whatever, and how she thinks that she's nobody type and nobody likes her. And then I was basically like, that's crazy, because she actually is fine shit. And they was like, basically, I dare you to buy her some flowers. I DoorDashed the flowers, gave it to her. When I gave them to her, I specifically said, this is a friendly gesture. Friends. This is not me trying to talk to you. Not me trying to make you feel uncomfortable. Not me trying to make you feel bad. You said you had a hard day or hard week or whatever. You're going through something. I'm doing a friendly gesture. That's it. I didn't even tell her it was a dare, because if somebody told me, like, oh, I did something nice for you because somebody dared me to, that would hurt my feelings. Didn't want to hurt her feelings. I should have hurt her feelings. And so the next day, her friend, Shredded Chicken, that's what we gonna call her friend, Shredded Chicken. It's not a race thing. Her name just sounds like Shredded Chicken. Well, it starts with the same couple letters. And so she gonna text her and be like, oh, Biagé likes you. Don't tell her I told you. Now this girl actually do stink. And this girl actually is a little funky. Her lips be dry as fuck, and she got black shit on her teeth. I ain't no hater. Hence the reason why I said that she wasn't ugly. But Shredded Chicken is a little hit. Her teeth got some black shit on it. Her lips are big and dry. And she be funky sometimes. I know that's like an Indian stereotype where Indians be funky sometimes. I don't know if they don't use deodorant or if they use a special kind. She was funky. Often. Alright. So she gonna be like, Biagé like you, but don't tell her I told you. Now, did I tell you I like her? No. Did I ask you to tell her that I like her? No. So why are you telling her that I like her? I'm an adult. If I wanted to tell somebody that I like her, not fucking middle school, I would tell them that I like them. So she tells my friend, Little Mermaid, to tell me that she's overwhelmed because she's going through a breakup with her ex. So all this shit. I wasn't trying to get at you anyway. You don't have to be overwhelmed, my love. It was never that. I told her. As Little Mermaid's texting me saying we need to talk, I'm at the fucking pizza place with my ex, minding my business, not worrying about you. So I go back to campus, we talk. I'm thinking she want to talk about something about me and her, like I did something to her. At that point, this my roadie. Like I fuck with you heavy, and I'd rather lose every other person at that point, because she already fucked me over. But I'd rather lose any other person I have as a friend than lose you. So I'm thinking like, damn, what did I do to her to upset her? Nothing. Turns out she talking to me on behalf of somebody else. I'm like, I text the girl when I got home, like, listen, I don't know who told you what or why they told you that goofy shit. I don't like you. You know, I'm into it with somebody. Like, this is a misunderstanding. A, you're young. You're 19. I'm 23. I would feel like a predator. 2, you're not my type. And it's not because you're Indian. I'm black. I like black girls. I like girls that are brown. It has nothing to do with that. It's more so, and again, you're not fat. It's just your body shape. I just like super skinny girls, like Coyle Ray body. anybody who knows any of my exes would know, like, I really don't like you. Like, come on, you really can't weigh more than like 125 pounds max. Like, I'm almost, like, I talk to a girl right now, and I'm almost forcing myself to like her because she not fat, she's a little thick, and I'm almost forcing myself to like her. Like, sometimes I'll find myself looking at her, and I'll, like, be appalled. Not appalled. Appalled is a terrible word to use. She's not ugly. It's just, I don't know. I feel like my ex, the one girl that I still be talking to, is just outrageously pretty, so I just always find myself comparing people to her, and that's not a fair thing to do to them, but that. And so I gave her all these reasons why she's not my type and why I wouldn't fuck with her and why that's not what was happening. And I'm like, I'm nice and friendly like that to everybody. The same way I act with you is the same way I act to Little Mermaid, same way I act to Little Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes is another one of our friends. It's a female. I act the same way to all of y'all. This is not me acting some type of way because I like you. Because I don't like you. Maybe if you misunderstood the flowers and she like, it wasn't the flowers, it was somebody told me. She told me that it was her friend shredded chicken. I'm like, that's weird. I'm not speaking to her no more because who the fuck are you to go tell somebody I like them? This is not middle school. It's not high school. I can tell them myself if I wanted to. I don't like her. But me and her kind of patched things up, and she told me she had a crush on the boy in the thing, and she said, oh, but he would never like me, like I'm not his type. We ended up betting $100 that he would like her, that she would be his type, or that he would fuck with her, right? So, long story short, there was a misunderstanding. I thought it was one guy. It was a different guy. The guy I went after for her did end up liking her, did end up saying he would fuck with her. Even the guy she actually liked, I went back and found the correct guy when she told me it was the wrong guy, and he did end up liking her, and he did end up saying he would fuck with her. He just said he was fucking with somebody at the time, and he wanted to see how that would work out first. So I was like, you don't gotta give me the $100 only because technically I didn't win, but technically I didn't lose. He would fuck with you, just not at this moment. And we never, like, got into specifics or semantics about the bet, so fuck it, let's just throw the bet out the window. Which was fine. But she was like, oh, I don't think he would like me. Nobody likes me. And then she started telling me about how she's going through a hard time because all her friends from back home, and all her friends from back home are calling her a whore and a slut. And they're calling her a whore and a slut because she's being a whore and a slut. She just started having sex, like, around, like, maybe, so 2 months from now of last year. So it ain't even been a whole year yet that she's been having sex. And she already is almost in double digits. I think she said she got, like, between 6 and 9 bodies. I don't remember the exact number. You mean tell me you have gathered almost a double-digit amount of bodies in a year, and you're 19? Yeah, no wonder your friends are calling you a slut. You coming in here telling us how you had sex with your ex-boyfriend in his car because he took you to dinner? All he bought you was a salad. Actually, he didn't even pay for it. She ended up telling us she paid for the salad herself. I think he drove you to dinner, base. All he did was drive you. You basically gave it up for the equivalent of an Uber. And then she said her other ex she wasn't even fucking with him no more. But he was obsessed with her and broke into her crib. And you know what she did when he broke into her crib? Fucked him. You wonder why people call me a slut. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I broke in my ex crib with that baseball bat and ended up getting arrested and put on probation, she fucked me. But that's not a good thing to be doing. Just because my ex did it don't mean. But she wilding out here a little bit. And so, like, she made some other comments that would make me think of, understand why they were calling her that. But I'm trying to tell her, like, bro, it's your body, your choice. You grown. Fuck what they talking about. You're not a slut. Like, trying to be her friend and console her. I don't want these chicken sandwiches right now, so I'm gonna eat some snacks. Can't go wrong with a little bit of snacks. These are ashy and dry looking, but they're not. But I gotta be careful how I eat them because of my teeth. And so, she also telling me how her mom and dad are mean to her and how they treat her bad. and how they're unsupportive because they think she's fat. She like, oh, like they talk about how much I eat and they monitor, you know, what I buy and my credit card bill and all that kind of shit, and they can see because they will make sure she's not eating too much. I'm confused because you're not fat. I'm fat. My parents don't even do that shit. Now, they'll slight me every once in a while. I was sick when I was home on winter break, and I was telling my mom I needed some medicine, and she gonna be like, "Why don't you just DoorDash the medicine like you be DoorDashing chips and shit?" I felt like I caught her straight at that point. I'm like, hold up now, keep it cute. But other than that, they don't monitor what I eat or like shit like that. And I actually am fat, and you're not fat, and they doing you like this. This one I want to blow up for some reason. And so it went right back flat. And so this gets to this day where I had this incident with her. She was in the game room. I had brought a pizza. I have a habit of sharing things when I have things. I bought a bunch of chicken sandwiches before. My girlfriend had bought like 4, and I had bought 4. I didn't know she was buying me some. I said, can you order me some food? And she didn't respond. I told her I was at work. I said I want chicken. I didn't know she ordered it, so I ordered mine. So now I have 8 chicken sandwiches. So I'm sharing with people that's at work or whatever, my friends and shit. And this one boy always got his hand out when I got something. There's a couple people that's like that because they know how generous I am. But this one in particular, I'm sharing with him, right? I give him a chicken sandwich. Mind you, this is not my first time. I give this nigga shit all the time. Offer him shit all the time. Share with him all the time. So our job do a little fake employee of the month shit. And they gave him a little $5 gift card for the store that's on campus. Last year when they gave it to him, he didn't use it. So this year, I assumed he wouldn't use it. And at that moment, I was thirsty and asked him, could I use it to get something to drink? Nigga, I'm always buying you something, always giving you something, always sharing with you. He tells me he's gonna use it. I say, okay, cool, that's valid. It's yours, you earned it, I ain't mad about that. Turn around, come to find out, he gave it away. First of all, he came up to the counter while my friend Isha was standing there and offered it to her, or offered it to somebody else, right? I'm like, damn, nigga, he like, well, I already gave it away anyway. He gonna say, I gave it to somebody that was hungry. So I'm like, okay, cool. You gave it to somebody who was hungry and they really was in need, that's cool. I got money, I just didn't want to spend my money. Turns out, he gave it to a bitch. He's so busy following behind a bitch that he gave it away to her. He didn't give it to nobody that was hungry. He used to go with this girl. He don't go with her no more. She go with somebody else. And she's fucking that nigga. Getting fucked down to the ground by that nigga. Loving life. At some point, she was fucking multiple people. Now she fucking with this nigga. Getting fucked down to the ground by this nigga. Actually, I don't think she was fucking multiple people. I think when she broke up with him, she went to art. So never mind. I'm not trying to call her a hoe or nothing. She's sensitive. Let me clarify what I mean by fucking multiple people. When she broke up with him, she started fucking with somebody else. And then she broke up with him and started fucking with somebody else. So what I'm saying is, there have been multiple people since you that she's been fucking with. Not saying that she's fucking with them at the same time. And so, she not even worrying about you no more. You all heartbroken and sad and little dick sadness that you gonna hold me out for somebody who, I ain't even gonna get too much into that. But I felt like he played me out. And then turn around and she offered me the card anyway. She like, I didn't know he did that. That's mad fucking mad rude. She told him about herself. She was like, yeah, like you did some fool shit. And he came and apologized, but I feel like he only came and apologized because she intervened. Because if she wouldn't intervene, he wouldn't came and apologize. He didn't feel like he did nothing wrong until she told him. And so, I had a pizza this day. Everybody was in there. I specifically got no meat on the pizza because she said she don't eat like pepperoni and shit because of her religion. So she said she don't want none, even though all that day she only had was like a snack. Like I think she said a pretzel, and she had half a bag of Skittles that she didn't finish eating. She said she can't eat anymore because she ate too much junk, and her dad is going to see if she orders something. I said, I will order it for you. I will pay for it myself. Nobody gives a fuck what your dad talking about. He's not here. I said, as a matter of fact, let me see your mom, because this hoe must be fine shit since she want to talk about how you look. You look perfectly fine. Her mom looked regular schmegular. Her mom looked like Baljeet mom from Phineas and Ferb. Regular as fuck. So, I'm like, I'm confused where they get the audacity to say these things. So I'm trying to get her to eat or order something. She lies and says she gonna order something. At some point, she came back. She went out of the room to talk to shredded cheese, shredded chicken. She came back in. She says, she never ordered it. She lied to me. She sits down in a chair. I'm like, okay, well, until you actually order it, you want time out. Astroworld, taking it upon himself to be, he's also a pick-me, but he's a pick-me in a different way. He's not a pick-me where I need all the attention to be on me and I need everybody to feel bad for me and woe is me and I'm fishing for compliments like she is. He's a pick-me in the way where it's like, I'm going to follow the crowd. I'm going to follow the leader. I'm going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to fall in line, and I'm going to make sure everybody likes me. And the way I'm going to make sure they like me is not by drawing attention to myself. It's not by being the center of attention. It's by following the pack and following the leader. He is undoubtedly a follower. He has no leadership bones in his body. He's not the type of person to stand up for himself. He's not the type of person to stand up for anyone else. He's not the type of person to do any of that shit. He's the type of person to get picked on when he start working. I got to stand up for him. He's the type of person who let everybody forget his birthday. He's the type of person who let people pick on him for being gay or for being fruity or for being a faggot or whatever. He's the type of person who, if I say she's on timeout, he takes it upon himself to push her chair in the corner to further the timeout game, right? So he stands behind the chair. I'm standing there talking to her. I take the Skittles out of her hand. That's the only thing that I did was snatch the Skittles. And I put them in his pocket because I don't have any room in my pockets. I don't want to squish them. I'm thick. I got them like tight jeans or something like that. I don't want to squish them. So I'm like, all right, cool. She gets like visibly flustered. Mind you, I'm not the one who put her in the corner. I'm not standing behind her chair trapping her in the corner. He is. She said she wanted to go out in the hallway. I go like this and back him up, let her go out in the hallway. A couple days later, I apologized for the whole thing. I felt like, just in case you felt some type of way about it, let me apologize. A couple days later, I'm hit with a report saying, oh, she said you you held her hostage and you screamed at her and told her you was going to force food down her throat. Be so fucking for real right now. My own bitch got these problems of not eating and shit like that. And I don't even tell her that I'm gonna force food down her throat. Think I'm gonna tell you that shit? No. They dragged it. She dragged it, because that's what she do. She gotta exaggerate shit for the attention. She never actually wanted to file the report. That's why when we had the meeting, she never showed up. She just wanted the attention. She just wanted people to look at her and to go talk to everybody about it. And I know that because then, for months now, she's been talking about it and telling people, and every time she tells somebody the story change, she gonna tell my bro Brian, oh, if you would have been there, I wouldn't have been scared because you're so big and strong and da-da-da, and making it seem like I'm a creep. She be showing up at my room unannounced. Bitch, I only know what floor you live on. I don't even know which room is yours. How can I show up at your room unannounced? You're just saying shit right now. I've never once showed up at your room unannounced. Only reason I know what floor you're on is because the day they bet me to give her the flowers, I said, do you want me to meet you on your floor? And I met her at the elevators on the 6th floor. I don't even know which direction she came from. So telling somebody that I'll be coming to your room unannounced is absolutely a fucking absurd. I don't even leave my dorm room. Like, she just was adding in all this shit to give it real pick-me vibes, like make motherfuckers really. But he came to me and he was like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I didn't listen to nothing she said. I know you already. Like, I know your body. You don't even move like that. Only person you crashing out on is somebody you into it with. So unless y'all was into it and you're really not saying that, I don't believe that you did that shit. I said, you know fuck well I'm not into it with that girl. Like, but I appreciate you coming to tell me and you being a real one and not listening to that shit, because anybody who know me know fuck well that that's not what I said. That's not how that happened. I was trying to be nice to you, and I was trying to help you because she said she had an eating disorder that she was trying to get over, and that her parents be picking with her. She said on Thanksgiving she had a plate full of food, same amount of food as everybody else, a general amount of food, and her mom called her out in front of the whole room and said, like, do you really need to eat that, or do you really need that much food, or basically said something about the quantity of food she had on her plate, to the point where she almost broke down and cried, and someone else had to step in and say something like, I'm sorry your mom treated you like that, like, that's not cool for her to do in front of everybody. Exactly. That's not cool. I'm trying to be a supportive friend. That's it. Trying to make me sound like a fucking creep. Like, come on, we all know what I'm working with. We all know what this girl look like. Not Shishi. Girl that I fuck with. We all know what this girl look like. She looks 1,000 times better than you could ever look like in your entire life. So I never have to. I ain't ever gotta play it like that on some desperate shit for you. Now, mind you, I'm not a hater. You're pretty, but you're not my type. You're cool. You're not fat, but you're not my type. I wish I had a picture of this girl, because I'll hold it up. This girl's a model, okay? She ain't a model for no reason. You could never. So I ain't even about to play with you on that note. I got 30 balloons blew up. Yeah, that's about 30. Still got 5,000 to go, essentially. So, after Shishi filed her report, Mary J. Blige also filed a report saying that I said I was going to terrorize her. Mind you, Mary J. Blige wasn't in the room, so she didn't hear me say anything. Meaning that she who shall not be named, or Little Mermaid, said something to her. So I texted both of them hoes. I said, I don't know which one of y'all was, but until further notice, I'm not fucking with y'all. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to communicate with y'all because y'all on some weird shit, and I don't know which one of y'all it is, but I don't trust neither of y'all. They both was like, it wasn't me. I don't know what's going on. Da da da. Fast forward. I'm in class. I'm in a meeting, because you have to have a meeting when people file these reports. But the thing is, these reports aren't anonymous. They can't use the anonymous ones, because someone has to be able to come up forward and say that they were witness these things. So they read me the report and they say, she who shall not be named wrote this. They say your first and last name. As they're reading me that shit, I text her and I say, you really foul. You told me you ain't write this. I don't got no beef with you, but that's wicked that you would write this and say and lie on me and say da 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 da. I wish I could read it right now. I'm not going to. I might post it up there when I post this on YouTube. She goes on this long rant about how they made her, how she's so sad, and how she don't know what's going. Basically, telling me that she had no intentions on writing this report, and that they made her, and that Mary J. Blige called her. She verbatim said Mary J. Blige, called her and told her what to write so that their reports could match, and all these other things. Which is, mind you, I got found not guilty. I'm gonna get to that point in a minute. This is why I feel like Thanos. So I said, hey, can I share this information with student conduct? You know, the information that you just told me about you saying that they made you do it, and that they've threatened you with retaliation from the job, and that they manipulated you and all these things. She said, yes. I said, okay, cool. I share it with the person who's in charge of the meetings. Her name is Alexis. I'm going to say her name. I don't care. And so a week later, Alexis sends me an email that says I was found responsible. How the fuck can you find me responsible equals guilty? How the fuck can you find me guilty for something where the person, the only witness in the account, the only person who was there, or the person who wrote the report, recanted and said that they were forced to do it, that they were threatened to do it, and that they didn't want to do it, and that they're acknowledging that it was a lie? How can you then find me responsible? So I went to the dean. I'm not fucking with you no more, Alexis, because I feel like you got a little bias, so I'm going above you. I went to the dean. And I'm like, hi, Dean of Students. I feel like something's not adding up here. I specifically showed her proof, written proof, from the person that wrote the report saying that they were forced and that it's not true and that they were going to recant, and somehow she still found me responsible. She said, okay, well, I'm going to give you a new hearing because your due process as a student was violated, because technically after that date, the Monday after you had that meeting, Alexis came into some new information, and she's supposed to share that information with you. And she used that information to determine the outcome, which was finding you guilty. But she did not share that information. I'm supposed to get all the information because I'm supposed to have a chance to rebuttal against it, or explain it, or claim my innocence, or whatever. But since I had no clue of this information, my due process was violated. So they're like, we'll give you another chance. And during this process, they're telling me, so the new information that Alexis came into was someone else anonymously claims to have heard it. Mind you, you can't really be anonymous if there was only 2 people in the room. And earlier in that meeting, she who shall not be named specifically said the person's name and said, the dean said, do you guys have any other witnesses? I said no, because the one other person who was there asked me not to involve her, and I'm, adhering to her wishes. And she who shall not be named was like, yeah, that person, such and such, said the name, but she wants to remain anonymous, remember? And so then at the end of the meeting, when the dean was like, well, the other information was said anonymously to us, and so we're not allowed to use anonymous information because the person has to come forward and stand up and say that they said it. I said, okay, so do you know for a fact that there even is a second person, or that the person being Mary J. Blige didn't just write this to try and give herself like a backing, to try and make it seem like she had more people on her side? She like, no, we spoke to the person who anonymously wrote it, but because they're not willing to come forward at the meeting or whatever, we can't use this. Like, you have to be able to say in return or whatever, and because we can't provide you with that information, we can't use it. But they told me who it was. You've been yapping for months, for weeks, this whole time. First of all, when I first got found guilty, and I was stressed out about if I should, because me being found guilty meant that I was possibly going to get suspended. And the part that's fucking me up, this is my last semester, okay? I've been in college for 5 years. I started college in 2019. It's 2025. That's 6 years. As a matter of fact, damn, I've been in college a long time. I've been in college for 6 years, okay? Well, no. Fall would make 6 years. So I've been in college for 5.5 years, okay? This is not how long I wanted to be in college. This is not ideal. I'm on my 4th college. I've made some mistakes. I fucked up. Things happen. But I'm so close, I can see the finish line. I've ordered my cap and gown. I've put in my application for graduation. Like, I'm so close, I can taste the finish line. And so to you call yourself my friend, and mind you, I just let this girl borrow money. She just texted me and said she was in a hard place and she can't really ask her for family because she already owed them money and a bunch of other shit, and gave her the money and said, you don't have to worry about paying me back. Just think of it as a Christmas present or something. Always, anytime I have something, I'm quick to give it to her. Even recently, within the last 2 weeks, I've given her countless amount of stuff. Her boyfriend or her friend, whatever, she refuses to call him her boyfriend, so the nigga she fuck with, anytime he around, anytime I come into the game room with a bag of snacks or whatever, he is the first motherfucker to walk up to me and be like, what you got in the bag? And I always share with him, off the strength of you. I don't know this man. I don't know him from a can of paint. I know him because I know you and because I'm friends with you. But I always share him with him. I always feed with him. Mind you, you and him leave to go outside and smoke on a consistent basis. Y'all don't never be like, yo, you want to come smoke? The one time I smoked with y'all was because I matched, because I had a little bit of weed and he rolled it together. Y'all don't ever be like, yo, you want to come smoke? But anytime I have weed or alcohol or there's these weed seltzers that essentially got cannabis in it. Anytime I got any of that, I share with you. I share with him too. Y'all smoke every day and don't ever be like, yo, you want to come take a couple hits of this? You want to come smoke? Da, da, da. You see how y'all do me? I share my drugs with y'all all the time. And you ain't never think not once to be like, let me ask Biagio if she want to come smoke. Given the fact that she always share when she got weed. Moving funny. I should have been noticed. That's because I have a generous heart. That's just who I am. I would never see somebody who has less than me or whatever, or even if you don't got less than me. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you for life. So if I have enough to share, I absolutely will. And I don't even be looking for nothing in return. So I wasn't really thinking about it when they would go outside and smoke, that, yo, they really going outside like they really don't fuck with me. That's my fault. I don't even blame that on them, because I'm allowing you to do that and I'm still giving you things after. But the fact that you sat there and listened to me tell you about how badly this could turn out for me, and you sat there and listened to me say like that if this is the end, like if I get suspended, this is the end. There's no more school for me. I won't be able to pay for this. Like, school will be done. This will be my very last chance to do this, to complete this, to finish this. If I cannot make this happen now, it will never happen for me. And you sat there and heard me and tried to be my shoulder to cry on and say how you're going to hold my hand through this and you're going to be my friend and how you wouldn't turn your back on me, knowing that you anonymously went and wrote a report. Then still had me sharing shit with you, giving shit to you, buying shit for you, buying you lunch when the semester started back, knowing that you went and anonymously filed the report. And your anonymous report is what they used the first time to find me guilty. It just so happened that wasn't allowed. And just because I'm not a pushover, I'm not going to just roll over and take shit. I knew that something was fishy, and I knew that something wasn't right, and I went back and I talked to the dean, and I had the dean look into it because I knew that Alexis wasn't doing the job properly. I knew that she was wrong, and I knew that what was being done to me wasn't